Hi, this is Exposure with Elliot. Tonight I'm going to be interviewing Brendan Tang.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Brendan Tang is a visual artist and a sculptor, and he is a VA student, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about his work, his intentions, his ideologies, and generally why he has chosen the mediums he's chosen. So, Brendan, hi.
Hi.
So tell me a little bit about the work that you brought today.
Well, the work I brought today was also, because I haven't used graphite in a while, this is what this is, like with pencil. It's one of my homework requirements, but I feel like I shouldn't do homework, my art for homework, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I shouldn't do it because I have to do it, I do it because I want to do it.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I chose what I'd like to do, which is perspective. I want to play with the different tones, how I can get you guys to look where I want you guys to look at it. It's like, if you look at the bottom here, you see that you look towards the top of it.
Sure, let's go to the bottom.
And what's over there? If you look directly at it, you see that this area is darker than the surrounding area. So you look, well, for me, I look directly at this area first because it's the lightest. Now I also try to think about like instructions, like how when you read something, you follow that direction, right? So when I say look forward, you look straight at the word, but you also tend to look up. So
interesting.
Look at this direction. So I'm just different places of where you should look and how everything relates together. I really did not have a lot of time to work on this, but it's one of those things where I really like doing. And I think in total, I think this piece actually took me 12 hours to complete.
12 hours.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so the choice of graphite was, that was part of the assignment that your teacher had given you?
Oh no, it was using different materials, so you can use whatever. But I personally haven't used graphite in a while. I don't really draw as much as I used to, and it was just a play of different. There's art pencils. There's a lot of different pencils. There's 2H and then there's 6B. 6B are the softer pencils. There's also a lot darker to use, and H pencils are also lighter to use as well.
Yeah.
So the different variation, you get different tones. You can try to combine them as well, and that's what I try to get in here.
Is there any correlation that you feel like between graphite and perspective? Between the medium, the paper that you chose to use, the graphite, and your subject of perspective?
Well, the paper is also a finer grain, so it's also easier to use. It also, the pencil will actually stay longer. It'll just give that nice look to it, that nice feel to it. So, and graphite as well, it can be, so you can see over here with the layer, you can also see that it's a lot shinier, so it looks brighter. And sometimes, but also if you smudge it, because graphite is a lot easier to smudge, you can see like how the different tones are achieved. If I use something like charcoal, it'll be too dark, and it won't retain that look of metal. So these are the shells in the costume shop department, and this is one of the glass bottles that I found. So graphite is just a lot easier to use because of the qualities that it has, that it brings to the table. You know?
Yeah, and you certainly forefronted the way that you see things, and especially how you frustrated my ability to see. You were telling me to look forward, and everything is pointing behind this bottle. I can only look through this bottle. Is there any reason for that choice?
Well, I also want to, because I feel like sometimes on a different perspective, I always do something similar to this, and I get really bored of it. So I want to do something where I do something different. So say a wine bottle, for example.
Yeah.
I also want to. It's just frustrating. You know, it's frustrating to make you feel. If it makes you feel something, then it's a lot more fun for you to actually see it. It gives you an emotion other than, oh, it's just an artwork. It's just something you can see.
Okay.
So you know, just seeing artwork and actually feeling an artwork is two different ideas.
Yes, of course.
That's why I decided to give you that mental strain.
Awesome. And how does this fit in with your larger body of work, or what you've been interested in recently?
Well, recently, because my artworks really do with like mental stress and mental pain. Like I do have ADHD, and I used to have depression and anxiety. And what drawing does for me, it helps calm me down, but also show that overall the big picture, everything looks nice in the bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
But when you look closer, like as I said before, it gives you that mental strain that you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're doing.
Yes.
And you just want to look forward, but also there's just something hindering you and just messing you. That's a reality for me, for a lot of people, is that everything looks calm and everything looks nice. Everyone says, okay, I'm fine, so I'm fine. But in reality, there's always this little thing that's always bugging them.
there's a frustration.
There's a frustration, exactly. And yeah, and art really does make me, like, that's why I want to portray in my art as well.
Sure, let's move over to this next one. Oh, and does this have a title at all?
Nope, but I guess I can say look forward.
Sure. And before we go on to this next one, I want to know, how long have you been interested in the visual arts?
I think it was when I started in middle school when I really got interested in, but it's only when I've gone to an art school like. It's something that's, you have the visual arts. It's where you have the different, you have painting, you have architecture, you have drawing, you have like sculpture. Sculpture is where I like to do, really, and that's where I started exploring, really.
And so you explored with the tangible, and what made you, or now you do these pieces that are intangible or not three-dimensional in our lived perspective. And so what caused that transition, or what is the interest now in two-dimensional?
Well, in two-dimensional, really, so this was a sculpture I made before.
Okay.
And I had my best friend helping me out make the sculpture.
Yeah. And
it's just like a collab. But the idea is that 2D and 3D are not really different. It's just how it affects the world around you, the environment around you. Now, 2D, it's when you're drawing something 3D, it gives you, when you're transforming 3D into 2D, it really gives you a perspective of how everything looks, how the different shadows, the different tones, what you're viewing is what someone else is going to be doing. So it gives you an idea of how to. So drawing really in 2D is how you plan things out, and then you can make it into a different sculpture. That's when it comes 2D to 3D, when you have a plan and then you make something, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're saying that when you have something 2D that you've drawn on this piece of paper, for example, the artist has set in stone at least the way that it looks.
Yeah.
And with a 3D object, there is an ability to kind of move around it and get different perspectives on that piece. That's very interesting.
Yeah. It just gives you an idea of control, you know? We don't really have a lot of control in our lives, I might as well have something. If I have something, then I feel a lot more.
Yes, yes. So is there anything else you'd like to say about this piece? And I noticed that there's essentially no perspective. It's almost in a vacuum aside from this, the little bit of shading that would allude to where the light is coming from. Is there any?
I was trying to
tell me about that.
What's really for me was just more about the tone. I was trying something with the lines.
Yeah.
So when you see lines go different directions.
Yes, yes.
That's where I was trying to try to show that, but I'm not really sure if this was really successful in that way of thinking. When I was trying to get the tones, so the darker tones you will go towards that darker tones also, but it was more of a planning stage. It's not really like about perspective with this one.
I understand.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Do you want to go on to your third piece?
Yes.
So we have one last piece down here.
And this is my creme de creme, I guess, of the three. This was the one piece I did spend a lot of time on because it's something that was important to me. And when I made this actually took me around 18 hours to do because I did it individually. This was a picture that I went into the costume shop department where they have the prop shops.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where I did my drawing, and because I do spend a lot of time there, and learning how to do different things with the tech department, they're amazing. And this art piece was really important because this is the first time I did something like this. I don't really do drawings. I mostly do sculptures. So
yeah, what do you mean like this? The sense of depicting?
Drawing, really. I haven't drawn in a long time, and I decided I want to do something challenging.
Yeah.
And it's just like a plan of the perspective again, where we have the finer details, and then we have the less details in the back, so you go straight towards the back. And it also, if you look from further away, you can see that you look towards this dot, right? That's what I see.
So what is your interest in perspective, in having your a certain thing? Where does that derive from?
The idea that it's 3D, it's because I like to do installation work.
Yeah.
So what I like to see is when I plan out my 2D drawings with perspectives, that you get a play of, again, same thing with that, you get a play of how people are going to view your artwork. And you get a play of how people will feel, how someone will see it from different perspectives, how they can get the different emotions from each different viewpoints. That's where perspective really comes in. It's like just helps you set out the plans for something bigger.
Interesting. So do you have any, are you going to, will these be evoking in you any desires to do sculpture work? You're saying that these are sort of jumping off points.
Actually not really. For just these ones, these was, well, I guess in my sculptures I would feel more comfortable doing more detailed work now that I did do this planning. If I were to make the sculpture, I would do more details of the different.
Yeah. And is what it's mounted on, is that part of it?
No. This is actually what it is now.
They just gave it.
Just gave it.
Okay. Before we go, could you tell us a little bit about something you're going to be doing in the studio?
Yes, I'm actually doing installation work in the studio later on. I think it'll be later towards the end of November or towards the end of October.
Okay.
The dates.
Sure.
The idea is that my artwork is really based off on how I deal with my anxiety and my depression and ADHD. The installation is off of a play where it's about mental, the mental stigma behind mental disabilities and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, I want people.
But yeah, explain a little bit.
Okay. So the space is gonna have a play with different sculptures, and I want to create like a comfortable space for students around. So there's 4,115 students on campus, and worldwide, across the nation, there is 75% of us don't really say anything about our depression and anxiety. No. And the 43% that do report it. I just want to see like how there are different outlets what you can do when you do feel stressed out. What you can do can be something different. And I want to provide that safe space, you know?
I think that's excellent.
Thank you.
And it's great that you're going against the stigma of mental depression or mental illness that would disallow people from going to get help or going to find outlets. Maybe people who aren't cognizant of the ways in which they can be helped. And I think you providing that is excellent. So yeah, please keep us at PTV and everybody out there informed on when you're going to be doing your event.
Please do. It is also a thing about the installation.
Yes.
There's just one little problem is that I also am in need of help. The funding for the installation is also in need of a dire help. Because it's just me right now, and I'm trying to get funding with the PSGA.
Okay.
And if you guys know anyone that would love to help out, so you just contact me at my Instagram is at Brendan Tang 1228, BRENDANTANG 1228, and you can also contact me through Facebook. This is just my name again, Brendan Tang, and my Gmail, brendantang438@gmail.com. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Brendan. It was great having you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.